All right, y'all. In this video, you're essentially going to be seeing me driving around, just giving some generic advice. The video got corrupted for like the first portion of it, but I mean, it was stuff that like obviously was fun, but it wasn't really advice. I was just being a dickhead and just popping everywhere and downshifting everywhere. But other than that, I just basically recovered like the majority of the video. So just wanted to preference that because it's gonna like just start in a random area. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I was kind of like all over the place in terms of like giving advice because it was my first time trying to like drive and give advice at the same time, and like the head mount was just like weird. So anyways, hope you guys enjoy this video. Comment down below what you thought of this video, if I should do more of these videos, and let me know. All right, later, y'all. When in reality, these things that come from trading, like cars and watches, are just a byproduct of the outcome, right? But instead of trying to focus on, hey, how do I better my strategy and how do I better my psychology, you focused on what video, or that video of that dude buying that car or buying that watch or doing all these little individual things that you guys constantly see. And what I'm telling you here now is you really, really need to prioritize the fact of specifically putting in the work more so over than the things that you know you should be doing, right? You know you should be journaling, you know you should be back testing, you know you should be forward testing, you know you should be really doing all these things, but you just kind of just make the same mistakes time and time again. And then you basically just ask yourself, like, what went wrong, right? What were the things specifically that I did that was just bad, you know? And I really am trying to push you guys specifically to focus more so over on identifying what your individual problems are. Because a lot of you guys just show up and wake up every day, take your executions, and then go about your day, when that's not trading. That's not what profitable trading looks like. That's not what good trading looks like. Trading as a whole is a game of identifying what your individual problems are and then fixing them from there, right? But majority of you guys are trying to solve problems you don't even know that you have. And this is a thing that I see a lot of people do, is like, you guys specifically will just execute and literally just go upon your day, and that's just not how trading works at all. And trading is a very big thing of freedom, right? Like, we have a lot of freedom specifically in our day-to-day and what we can do and what we're allowed to do, because we're only trading for such a short amount of time. But the thing is while you are building yourself as a trader, it's not just, okay, I execute and then go upon my day. It's like, no, I back test, I forward test, I journal, I see what my individual problems are that I faced and had, and then from there you better yourself, right? And that is what leads you to be able to buy this. That's what leads you to be able to buy the watches and buy the fancy shit that you constantly see on social media. But until you are able to identify what your individual problems are and then better yourself, better the way that you trade, better the way that you execute, it's like you can't. Damn, I wish I had cash right now. I would have gave bro some cash. That's fucked up. But it's like, specifically, you just really want to identify what your individual problems are and then better yourself as a trader from there. And it's like, all you guys just try to solve problems you don't even know that you have in the first place, and you just slap on your basic fair value gap entries, and then you're asking yourself, well, what went wrong? Why did I get stopped out on this? And it's like, and then you just give up. You flat out give up. We're getting a tunnel right here, so I'm about to do a little bit of devious shit, I'm not gonna lie. Sweet. But yeah, and I really want you guys to prioritize how you are able to better yourself as a day trader, because it's not just a black and white game of like, okay, I'm gonna execute and then I'm gonna go upon my day. Like, I wish trading was that easy, and it is honestly that easy once you guys get to a level in which you are basically consistent. You're kind of in that flow state. Like right now in my trading journey, I don't really prioritize or think about journaling or back testing or any of these things, right? I don't do all those things. What I do though is show up every day, make sure everyone is obviously taken care of in the Discord, take my executions, and then if I do end up losing or doing something incorrect, yeah, maybe occasionally I'll back test or forward test or just see individually what I could have done better there. But when I'm at kind of like a point of consistency now where I don't really need to do those things, right? And it's like until you are at that consistently profitable, there's a full walking in the middle of the road. Bet. But yeah, and it's like, until you're at that consistency of like just basically understanding what your individual problems are, it's like you can't expect to not put in work. Sorry if you guys hear the ceramic breaks, they're begging for help. But yeah, so like that's that for like in terms of workflow. And like a lot of people like will ask me, is like, Salma, what should your, who's honking at me, bro? Why are you honking at me? A lot of people ask me specifically like why, or like what does your day-to-day look like, or what should like a day-to-day of a trader look like? And like your day-to-day specifically should be specifically just working constantly, back testing, forward testing, journaling, doing all the things that you know you should be doing. And it's like until you get to that point of consistency where you have consistency within your model, right? Your model presents itself to the point of, you know, when you should execute, you're getting payouts consistently, and everything is properly going your way. You should not be looking to change anything up first off, or working less, right? I see so many people, they get their first payout specifically. After they get their first payout, they just go upon their life, right? And they just basically stop doing the things that have gotten them to consistency. And it's like that's the detriment to majority of all day traders. They'll grow an ego specifically to basically like or how should I word this? They grow an ego specifically after getting their first payout, and then they'll stop doing the habits that have gotten them to their first payout, and then they fall off, they blow their account, and they don't know what they've done wrong. And it's like, well, gee, you basically stopped doing all the things that have gotten you to success, and you're wondering what went wrong. And it's like, that's specifically what went wrong. You saw consistency for once in your life, and then you stopped doing the habits that have led you to profitability, and then you wonder why you're sitting in the exact same shoes that you've been in previously when you were struggling. And this also happens specifically when you guys pass your funded account, get on a live account. It's the exact same thing. You guys will basically stop doing the things that have gotten you to pass your funded account, and then you wonder specifically why you blew your funded account. It's like, well, gee, you stopped the habits that you know you should be doing. So really, really just make sure in terms of your day-to-day basis of like what your schedule looks like and what your routine looks like stays the exact same, that has led you to getting that payout, that has led you specifically to seeing the outcome happen firsthand, right? I'm gonna try to make this more stable because this is bouncing all over the place. Hold on, give me a second here. Let me see if that did anything. I should have done a little bit of. But yeah, so I really want you guys to prioritize and focus on specifically the things that have allowed you to see consistency, because I see that has so much truth. And in terms of like stopping the bad habits that like you know you should not be doing, like for example, blowing a funded account, or over trading, or over leveraging, or having fear and having FOMO and greed. A lot of you guys will ask me, Salman, like, how do I see, or how do I get out of that mode specifically of doing those individual things? And to be honest with you, G, you have really two ways of creating solutions for those problems. And the first one, and the one that I see majority of profitable traders go through, is either getting so sick and tired of the outcome and the same outcome happening time and time again of you blowing your funded account to the point where you just like force yourself to change. That's what majority of people go through. And the second thing is getting a mentor to specifically solve each individual problem as you go. And this is the thing, is like a lot of you guys will hate on a mentorship as a whole, and I'm like, look, I agree with you. I don't like majority of mentors as a whole either, because they really suck at teaching. But the thing that is so valuable out of that is learning what their individual struggles were and learning the lessons of how they overcame those individual lessons. Like, for example, a lot of people will say, Salman, how'd you get over trading? And I'll tell them basically my entire blueprint protocol of like how I personally got over trading. And it's like, until you specifically get over that stage of like just constant repetitive mistakes, you'll never see consistency, because that's ultimately what consistency brings. Consistency is off of the basis specifically of just being able to stop the repetitive mistakes you know you should not be doing. Like, you guys will take a bunch of executions and then ask like, oh, well, what did I do wrong there specifically? What went wrong there? And it's like,
well, bro, like you blew your account because you overtraded, and then you're asking what went wrong. And it's like, what went wrong specifically is just the same repetitive mistakes you make time and time again. And trading's really and realistically a game of just like, how long is it going to take you specifically to just stop doing the things you know you should not be doing? That's where you see true consistency, right? It's not off of the basis of, oh, when is my strategy going to become consistent? Because majority of your guys' strategy is already consistent. It's more so over around the basis specifically of like saying, okay, well, I have a consistent strategy, but it's more so over when can I control my emotions, and when can I control when I make a decision after the outcome presents itself, right? And what I mean by saying that is, majority of you have no emotional control after the outcome presents itself, right? You'll either take a losing trade or a winning trade, and then you'll sit there and say, oh, well, what happens next, right? And then either boredom will get the best of you or your emotions will get the best of you, and then you'll start tweaking out, right? You'll start saying to yourself, well, I lost that trade and I need to basically pass my funded account, or you'll say some stupid shit and trick your mind into being able and being okay specifically with making the dumb repetitive mistakes you make time and time again. This is a back road. I'm about to rip it. Bro, I have no field of vision with this camera on my head right now. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. All right. This thing is really awesome. Not gonna lie to you guys. But yeah, I just want to give you guys some POVs real quick. That was a pedestrian with the dog, so I kind of felt bad. Slowed it down there a little bit. Oh, the ceramic brakes are just absolutely, oh my god, dude, the ceramic brakes. But yeah, I'm gonna park up for a bit and give you guys some really solid advice. Give me a second here. I'm gonna just pull into one of these random parking spots. Alright, maybe it's best not to rip it in a 15-mile-per-hour zone. Alright, I'm gonna just pull into this random spot right here. Hold up. Oh my god, bro, there's actually no parking. I'm about to crash out. Bro, gang, holy shit, can I find a parking spot? About it, bro. This is a roundabout. Should I bust some donuts out right here? Bro, I can't see shit with this headpiece on, gang. Oh, I felt that DCT there. First gear in this car really sucks. But I mean, I make competition, so I can't really be complaining about first gear. Put the window down so you guys can hear the exhaust a little bit. Oh yeah, those ceramics. Yeah, y'all. I really want to make it a point to be able to have you guys digest this information as best as possible. And I thought this might be a little bit of a way, but I'm not going to lie. Like, the advice could have been a little bit better, just because like I'm not the best multitasker of driving, especially driving a $100,000 car while trying to give advice, because I'm just like scanning the roads and everything. But I really want to make it a point for you guys to realize what your individual problems are. Why are you facing the constant repetitive mistakes that you constantly face? Like, what are you doing wrong that is making you unprofitable? And how are you going to basically take those individual problems and create solutions for those individual problems, right? Because you can't expect any sense of change if you don't have what your problems are identified. It's like I constantly repeat this message, and what that message is imagine you were a student and you walk into your classroom and your teacher says, all right, guys, it's time for a quiz. And if you fail this quiz, you're never going to see change. You're going to lose a lot of money, and you're just giving your money away for no reason. It's like you would be sitting there for saying like, well, if I don't pass this test, like what is even the point of me taking this test, right? It makes no sense. And I wanted to make this video specifically around the basis of just giving you guys general advice, not generic advice, but general advice. And more so out of this video, the biggest thing I want you guys to realize is what are your individual problems. So after this video, what I want you to do, since you just watched a little bit of a dopamine rushing video, is on a piece of paper, write down what your individual trading problems are. On a pen pad and a note, write down your individual problems and try to identify them, what they are, and then creating solutions for them. But I burned this spot out by downshifting everywhere, so I got to bounce right now. But that's the biggest thing I want you to take out of this video. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section. And yeah, that's going to be it. I love y'all, boys. I'll see you guys in the next video.